Welcome, everybody. This is the Ends Justify the Memes, the show where the lowest of the low, that is the most wretched of wretched and deplorables to end all deplorables, two white, heterosexual Christian males from the American South. We talk about philosophy, history, health, fitness, and what it means to be a man in the 21st century. I'll be your host, Bill, and this is my producer and co-host, Tank. Can I get my hand in the frame? I'll do it this way. So, guys, crack open a beer and lend us your ear because the ends always justify the memes. I thought I was going to launch that. It didn't work. Hit my mic.
Did not work. Failure. It's so okay. It was shown we're not. Wait, it's showing we're not on D Live, but now we're saying we are on D Live. So
no, we're good because.
Okay.
Well, maybe not. Hold on. Let me refresh the entropy. Always the best.
Entropy's working on my end. Yeah.
Okay. Mine stopped for a second. Yeah, we're up. So okay. I'm running the entropy through D Live. So as we get those technical difficulties down, it looks like we're doing all right. If you guys didn't know, there are links in the description. We are live on YouTube, Entropy, which is our favorite little free speech platform. You can also donate there. Rumble, where you can also donate. We are monetized there, and well, we're saying D Live, right? That's everything, right?
Yeah. Well, apparently we're still on Trovo, which I forgot about.
I don't send the link to Trovo or anything like that. I don't mess with
What's
them.
this T up here in the corner?
Temp, because Rumble requires that I have to constantly set up a link. They don't require it per se, but StreamYard doesn't have a thing to automatically stream to Rumble.
Okay.
And you have to put in like a placeholder video, whatever. It takes like 5 or 10 minutes to set up a Rumble stream. Versus everything else is like 2 minutes.
I see. So, I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
So not Trovo. I totally forgot Trovo existed.
Yeah. Yeah. I said we shouldn't stream over there since they booted Matt Christensen off. So, I mean, that was basically my position.
That's fine.
In any case, let's get into some Memecast news. You got it? I got it. All right, the Supreme Court has voted to strike down Roe v. Wade according to an initial draft majority opinion written by Justice Samuel Alito and obtained by Politico. We hold that Roe v. Wade and Casey must be overruled, writes Alito.
You think this is actually going to happen?
Probably.
Okay.
Supreme Court Chief Justice releases statement on unprecedented SCOTUS leak, confirms its authenticity, launches investigation. You did it, you crazy son of a bitch. You did it. I have been pretty firm on the stance that I'd never thought this would be overturned, or at least not in my lifetime or anytime soon. But it looks like they're actually looking at sound law, and it looks like 10A's back on the menu, boys. 10th Amendment making a comeback. I'd like to see the 9th Amendment make a comeback too. Whoa, what happened?
I don't know. I'm just hanging out.
Oh, my chat's disappeared. Good evening, Jeff. Good to see you here. I saw we had a comment in chat. I wanted to see what it was, and it disappeared. Anyways, so there are multiple theories about the sources. The left swears that it's the right-wingers who released this, but we know that a Sotomayor aide is linked to Politico. So, yeah. In any case, sources of SCOTUS leak found to be Swedish Supreme Court janitor Hildur.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not sure why she has a beard, but must be that dwarf women grow beards or something. I don't know. Looks like my body, my choice is back on the menu, boys.
Woo!
Yeah. And of course, we have the old switcheroo going straight from Ukraine back to the old pussy hat. Biden, Harris, and BLM to Vax to Ukraine, and now it's the fight of our lives. And guys, tonight we have some tweets that we're going to look at, and it's going to be a joyous time here on the Ins Justify the Memes. I hope you are ready to be, inundated with crazy leftism, because these people have no idea what's going on. They have no clue that they will still be able to live in states where they can murder their babies. And I'm against them murdering babies, but if they would like to murder babies, they can go to California. I'm pretty sure I could go across the way over here to Maryland, where I grew up, or in New York. Most states will probably just restrict the time periods, but we'll talk about that as we go. Think about all the women who must be suffering so much today. Stay strong, ladies.
Oh.
Seeing a lot of bigotry across Twitter right now. Many are saying repealing Roe v. Wade is an assault on women while ignoring all the men who also have unwanted pregnancies.
That's true. They can't really walk that one back now, can they?
No. They're a bunch of bigots
that one
now.
Out.
They're all a bunch of bigots. Let's see. Woman is artificial label. Men can get pregnant too. This is indirect attack on women. You're not allowed to have an opinion.
We need some biologists to come in the room and let us know who can talk about this or not.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, I think Matt Walsh is a biologist. It says so in his Twitter, and he's a blue check. So,
well, there you go. Maybe he can fill us in on, because I don't know if I can talk about this or not.
I talk about what I want because I believe in the principle of free speech beyond just the constitutional right. Dems, the past few years, birthing people. Dems defending Roe v. Wade. I don't want to play with you anymore. It's something like that. Guys, today's going to be a pretty fast, slick show. I don't have a lot of videos. I was telling Tank, I only have like 3 video memes. We might be done, but I'm sure we'll have some more conversation when we get into the crazy tweets as they are. From Dinesh D'Souza, wouldn't it be funny if SCOTUS penned a one-line decision? Since we have been assured that women do not exist as a distinct group, the concept of women's rights is obviously meaningless, and therefore there cannot be a women's right to abortion or to anything else. You know, I don't believe in women's rights. I don't believe in men's rights either. I don't believe in, gay or trans rights. I don't believe in any of those things. I just believe that people have very basic rights that are negative, that don't affect other people, that you don't have to provide for other people. I don't believe murdering somebody who's innocent, though, and even if they were born, could not make it on their own. I mean, my daughter tries to kill herself daily, not on purpose, but she does stuff. She likes to play with cords. She's a baby. She wants to, play with things that could zap her, or she'll fall off the couch. She'll straight try to walk off the couch. She understands, like, to fall or not, but she thinks it's fun and it's a game sometimes to her. And then she bonks herself and cries. Really, for human beings, you're going to be like 13, 14, 15 before you can really survive on your own. And even then, you're pretty incompetent at it. So the sustainability thing, that's not a thing. It's not an argument. Or the thing of the burden, that is, either. That's something we'll talk about here in a bit. And just like that, the left can define exactly what a woman is. Yeah. Progressives have given away their 2 favorite go-to responses on abortion. My body, my choice rings pretty hollow after vax mandates. It's a woman's issue is tough if there's no definition of woman, right?
Yeah, there is that.
It's almost like Men can have an abortion. Men can have babies. Yeah. Which is it? You know, I'm going to listen to Tristan though from old Primal Edge Health. I trust this guy. And he says that he just explained to his non-binary, uh, trans-labeled 3-year-old that Roe v. Wade may be overturned. Z looked as me with tears in them's eyes. Didn't the Supreme Court's mommy teach dim population is the primary cause of climate change? Why not these mommies learn them better?
I forgot about him. He's still around?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't catch him enough. YouTube starts burying people. And then I follow him on Instagram, though, so I'll catch stuff on occasion. I mean, YouTube's been burying Tim Pool's I mean, the guy's got 3 channels, but he's got a morning channel, as what I would call it, called Timcast, not the IRL show, but just Timcast, right? And I haven't seen any of that stuff pop up for probably a month or more. And Tim's like the #1 super chat guy right now in all of YouTube, pretty sure. So it's not like he's unpopular. I'd like to use the situation to convince distraught child-aborting leftists to support secession. Eric July, that would be the real dream, now wouldn't it?
Yeah,
they could all go to California. We'll get maybe they can take New York too, but I don't think most people in New York would like that. I don't know if most Californians would like them taking California, but yeah, they can all go to the West Coast, and you know, I don't want them really taking that good land either, but just get them out of my life, my society. That's what I want. Right? Go somewhere else. And I don't know, Tank, what do you think about this?
Not your body.
I mean, I think if you got the vax, you probably shouldn't worry about having to get an abortion.
Oh, we might talk about that after a bit. Yeah. But yeah, not your body. Right. The baby's not your body either. You do support it. You do carry it. But I don't know. I find this all very, very selfish. And then we have Slate writing these articles. Notice the coat hanger. What the end of Roe v. Wade means for each state. It doesn't mean anything. It means each state can decide for itself the way federalism is meant to be implemented. You know, that whole 9th and 10th Amendment thing. Any powers not enumerated to the federal government is then given to the state and the people, meaning that they can't make these rules. And that's the way it always was. I actually had a clip I wanted to clip. I forgot about it. Maybe I can find it later on, or I'll talk about it over on All-1 if I ever end up streaming on my other channel again. I plan on it, folks. Just things have been happening. So in any case, but it shows the law. I forget where I saw it at. Might have been, quite frankly, last night. I can't remember, but it shows the laws, the history of the laws of abortion, and they're all states' laws, and they go way back. And the left is arguing that we're overturning precedents when there was no precedents to set in the first place. Precedents must be built upon cases, numerous cases. That creates a precedent. Once certain things are given leeway, then eventually the court rules on something. Roe v. Wade was never in the power or purview of the Constitution. That is the right to abort your child. And then they changed it, of course, later on with the weird convoluted thing that they had going on.
You know what's really weird? I just found out right before I came on the show that the Roe and Roe versus Wade made the whole thing up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I didn't know. I guess I never realized what the whole thing was based on. If anybody doesn't know this and was dumb as I am, this Roe chick said she got gang raped in Georgia or something, and said she had to go get an abortion, and they were like, oh well, she wanted to remain her privacy of getting raped, which I guess makes sense. So you should allow abortion because you got to protect people's privacy. And then like 10 days later, not even like decades later, like 10 days later, she's like, yeah, I made all that up. So
That's crazy.
there's that.
Yeah, I've never looked into the story behind it. I just have always been more concerned with the legal interpretation, which is always to my mind. I mean, I'm no constitutional scholar, but I think the thing's pretty simple, and I think you can read the writings of the founding fathers and understand what they want to implement. The problem here is that we're winning. Now, I don't know how long we're going to win. In fact, my boss told me about this. I think I was getting ready to get off work, and before I headed home, and I said, dude, I said, seems like we're winning a lot, but that also concerns me because I do want to win, but everyone is going to eventually put their head in the sand when they think that everything is safe and sound, and the revenge of the Sith will occur. I can promise you. This happened in the 90s when the PC movement reared its ugly head up and disappeared, right? And then through Tumblr, which eventually migrated over to Twitter, we got the same thing going on, very, very much pushed out there. And there are things coming in the future with transhumanism and whatever else, which is all tied up into this. You know, the ESV scores, all that stuff, the Great Reset stuff. You know those things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, there's the whole takeover of the East by China, and likely they'll be, you know, invading Taiwan in some near time period. So, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of things that are shifting and changing. So we can be winning for the moment, but don't give up your due diligence, folks. Democrats yesterday, children are dying at the border. Democrats today, we must fight for the right to abort children.
Abort, not deport.
Right.
That's the difference.
Right. Abort, don't deport. Well, they'll make the excuse that, well, those people are already alive, so they shouldn't suffer. And it's like, so why don't you just put them out of their misery then? Like,
Yeah.
what's the difference? It's a fundamental misunderstanding, or you know, I mean, life is suffering. It doesn't mean that everything's pain and horrible all the time. It means it requires endurance. It's rough. It requires you to be a strong person, which these people are not. They're infantilized, and they love infanticide. So, this lady, toddler found sleeping on the sidewalk after mom left children alone to go to the club. 25-year-old Florida woman, not a Florida man this time, has been arrested and charged with child neglect after her toddler was found sleeping on the sidewalk and 2 other children were found in her home alone. So the argument is that the baby is a parasite in my body. They don't even understand that it's a separate body with a separate genetic code and a separate stem cells and blood and all of that stuff. It is a completely different being. This woman gets in trouble because she found her children to be a burden to her, right? But for some reason, murdering a baby, that's okay. Because, well, having it would be a burden to you. And, of course, old Sav here says, I don't even like the term abortion rights. Abortion is not a right. Abortion is murder. And I think the right needs to get a lot harder on that. A lot harder on that. You just need to call people out as wanting them to be baby killers. And I'm not saying everybody. I understand you have to keep the peace at work or with family or whatever. But, I mean, you know, you need to make the argument of what it is. Here we have, from a blue check mark, mind you, let's be clear. The right to an abortion is sacred. Sacred, huh? Sounds religious. That's religious language. Democrats have to act quickly, get rid of the filibuster to pass the Women's Health Protection Act. plus finally codify Roe into law. We cannot afford to wait. Yeah.
Sacred.
Very sacred.
Sacred.
This is what happens when you go to the abortion clinic. Don't worry. Aborting is safe and easy and repeatable in-office procedure. Best of all, it's free. The birthing body is unafraid and a willing doctor.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Very sacred. And then, it might have been Short Fatted Taco I meant to clip because I did do a screenshot of this because he did a good job here. I think he put it up. So go check out Dev's video, Short Fatted Taco, on this abortion issue. I don't remember though, because I've worked very late the last 3 nights. I've worked till 1 a.m. almost every night the last 3 nights. So, anyways, this is what the left has been preaching. Abortion is a moral good. Abortion, addict confesses 15 procedures in 16 years. Says half of all abortions are repeats. My abortion made me love myself more. My custom abortion hoops came in and I'm screaming. Seriously?
Mm.
And then old Joe Biden chimes in today. Let's see here. Says MAGA is the most extreme political organization in American history. Biden warns of Republicans' ultra MAGA agenda, and she suggests they'll ban LGBT children from the classroom if Roe v. Wade is overturned. Biden warned that after Roe versus Wade was struck down, conservatives might try to ban LGBTQ kids from classrooms. He signaled they might even reverse Griswold versus Connecticut, a case that struck down a state law banning the use of contraceptives by married couples. This MAGA crowd is really the most extreme political organization that existed in American history. Recent American history, Biden said. On Monday night, the Supreme Court opinion leak. Yeah, we know that. Yeah. Not wanting to kill babies is extreme, folks.
So extreme.
But calling abortion abortion moral is not extreme.
I mean, within my lifetime, within my adult lifetime, safe, legal, and rare was a common thing. And then now it's like shout your abortion. So who has gotten more unhinged with this topic? Because really, like, I forget who said it, but I was listening to somebody talk, and they basically punched the numbers. They said the acceptable abortion topic in the United States, or the acceptable way to have abortion in the United States per like polling is, up into a certain amount, up into the heartbeat, it's fine, and absolutely not after the 3rd trimester starts. That's kind of where most of the people agree. They said most people, population wise, are okay with abortion up to a certain point and not really feeling it after a certain point. But these guys are like pushing shit. Like, well, it was a couple years ago they were saying like up into dilation, So obviously it's not the people who are against abortion that's been getting more radical here.
They've been talking about up until and after. I mean, you're saying dilation, but even after birth.
Mm-hmm.
California, I don't know why anyone's not been talking about it. They were just talking the other week, trying to push a law. I haven't looked into it because I'm way more busy than I have been, in the past year and a half, 2 years I've been streaming. It's been nearly 2 years now. I just realized that. Not on this show, but anyways. Yeah, they just try to pass a law, or we're talking about passing a law to if their babies had died, or they allowed them to die up to a week after, or they murdered them a week after they were born, it would be okay. Like, did I imagine that? Was that a fever dream of mine? Wasn't that something that was going on just the other week in the news? So it's quite crazy what lengths they will go to. And of course, old Ben Shapiro says, if I knew someone, I'm trying to do a Ben voice. I don't know if I can do this.
Okay, guys. Okay. Find you someone who loves you the way the left loves killing preborn babies. Okay, that's the kind of love you want.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's not
the
quite.
best.
It's not quite squeaky enough.
Yeah, I can do a better Shapiro, but not today, guys. Sorry. But seriously, like this is, regardless of your religious beliefs, anyone's religious beliefs. Tank and I are Christians, of different kind of strains or whatever, but we're both Christians. And actually, Tank and I agree. Every time I've talked to him or whatever, I probably surprise him because I'm not in the Orthodox Church. I think I surprise a lot of Orthodox because I basically believe Orthodox things, and I came to those positions just through reading and understanding God. you know, so, but in any case, like, even if you don't believe in any of that stuff, our worldviews explain this perfectly and told us that this was going to happen, that this inversion of what is good and what is evil would occur, and then it would deceive all of the world, and if it could, even the very elect. From Bernie Sanders. Congress must pass legislation that codifies Roe v. Wade as the law of the land in this country now. And if there aren't 60 votes in the Senate to do it, I screwed it up there. To do it, there are not. We must end the filibuster to pass with 50 votes. No. Make it 75. Make it 75 votes to get anything done.
Here's why this is all fake. This is both good for Republicans, establishment Republicans, and Democrats, because if Roe v. Wade gets overturned, then for the next 50 years, Democrats have a reliable base to be like, we're going to bring back Roe v. Wade. You got to vote for us. And Republicans are going to have, a reliable base that if you don't vote for us, then they're going to put abortion back on the table. So they're killing all the popular sentiment on each side with this.
Yeah. Tank just went big brain and didn't even know it. Talking about how the Hegelian synthesis works and how
I don't know what that is.
Right. And how they manipulate you through hyper reality. But he didn't say that.
I didn't
so
say
much
that.
as
But that sounds better. That sounds better than what I said.
I mean,
I just kind of fart my way through stuff, guys.
Yeah. The thing is Tank's read more about all that stuff than I have, so
I skimmed it.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, and the left be like, life on Mars versus life on Earth.
Whoa, that's actual bacteria. Amazing. We found life on Mars. That's not a life. A person exists at birth. If it's inside a mother, it's actually not life yet.
It's like, dude, really? Same person, different locations. Like, no joke. I have 2 children. I'm a degenerate. They're from 2 different mothers, because I was young and dumb and married a crazy lady. But regardless, her mom, my oldest daughter, her mom got kicked all the time in the one side and always complained about it. And then when my daughter was born, we had a little bouncy chair we put her in, and guess what? Her left side, she constantly kicked. And Fiona, my baby that I have with my wife now, she is just a super active little kid, like squirmy, wormy, stretching, doing all this stuff. And my wife would say, it feels like she's doing flips in there and she's stretching out and doing stuff. That's all my daughter does. She wants to be upside down. She's into everything. She's constantly moving. And yeah, we have to strap her down to get her to sleep, that kind of thing, and put her in a swing. So, yeah, that person and that personality is in there. It's already there, and it's forming and it's developing. And again, how long? How long do you have to parent? How long until these people are really viable in the world? Because by current societal standards, we're talking about 20 years, and that's probably not even correct because your brain isn't really fully formed and your bones don't fully osteify, and you tend to not stop gaining height fully until that magical number of 25, and then your prefrontal cortex is fully formed, all that stuff. So how are we going to make arguments that these, it's not actually life or whatever? Like part of life is growth, right? It's amazing how they dismiss this stuff, but I don't know. Either way, say goodbye to your abortions, whores.
Oh God! Whoa! Woke up and chose violence on that one. Woo!
So I have from a clip from old John Talks on YouTube, the Elizabeth Warren freak out. If you hadn't seen it, everyone's probably seen it by now, but we're gonna play it here real quick because it is absolutely insane. Like this is how old is she? 60-year-old woman or something?
Yeah.
Acting like a complete child, a toddler.
Angry and upset and determined. And going forward for decades now, and we are gonna fight back.
I've never seen you so angry.
I am angry. This is what the Republicans have been working toward this day for decades. Well, I am here because I am angry. We are not going back. We are not going back. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Not ever. Never. Decades now.
Cut that off. Next caller.
Never.
That was so fake. Oh my God. These people are so fake.
Yeah.
She doesn't
Cringe and
have to be throwing a tantrum in front of a bunch of cameras with, a whole crowd behind her, huh? Like she wasn't just like at Arby's 30 minutes beforehand.
Notice she goes to hit that guy like kind of hard and then like gets real gentle and soft all of a sudden.
These people, this is fake. Everything's staged. We live in hyper reality, guys.
Yep, we do. We live in a synthetic society, Tank.
This is all fake.
So the reason why I said that about your statement is because I think, again, I need to delve more into Baudrillard, but I see the Hegelian dialectic playing out constantly in all these things because this is what they're doing. Like literally, we don't have a two-party system. We all know this. We have a one-party system. It's the globalist party, right? And the way that everything's curated is what creates our society. Our society, because we're in hyper reality, is all material and corporate. Like Baudrillard talks about how the way that you dress, you're buying corporate things to present yourself to make yourself this way, but in a way you're being programmed too by the marketing, right? And that goes back to like Edward Bernays and all that. So yeah, we're in the synthesis of this society, and it's being driven by hyper reality for sure.
Yeah, like this did not happen organically. She did not go to her and throw a tantrum like because she felt the spirit. She planned this whole thing was planned out. And so they can use it as this thing to make it look like people are really up in arms about this. Most people don't care. I mean, really, like except for shit libs, like the most shitty of libs, most people don't really care that much. Like most people's lives are not going to be changed, but with this.
Well, it's funny because Tankies would call, like if I can get them into a debate, not a debate. If I can get them into whatever sort of conversation I would have with them, as I do sometimes on Twitter, they would call me, if I said that I was a liberal, they would call me a shit lib. But I am a liberal. I'm a liberal in the classical sense, which makes me conservative. And it's funny because everyone's figuring this out now. Tim Pool had been talking a lot about the meme of the shifting, political paradigm and how the left is trying to frame it, and they still are. And that's the point of that whole Joe Biden saying MAGA's so they're so extreme and so far. No. And even to the point where some of these tweets, I think I have it in here. One of these tweets is like, aren't the Republicans supposed to conserve things? Aren't the conservatives supposed to conserve things like Roe v. Wade? And it's like, no, you fool. We're conserving the Constitution. That's what they're trying to conserve. They're trying to conserve liberty. Now, maybe some of them aren't, but, generally, again, when I speak of Republicans, folks, I'm talking about people, voters. I'm talking about, real people, not the bald politician globalists who want to do nothing, In any case, yeah. I mean, here's your proof of everything we were just talking about, though, of this hyper reality. Here's a big FU to everyone who claimed I was being dramatic when I said Roe would be overturned. You've been saying that forever, though, if any conservative justices got on.
Yeah.
So it's not really a prediction. Just like I didn't think it would be overturned. More recently, I've said that I believe that there was a chance. And this leak had to codify the position, because now the justices can't cuck, because then it completely destroys what the institution is. Don't get me wrong. All of our institutions are fake and ridiculous anyways, but still. You can be angry at the Bible thumpers, but I blame the Democrats more than I do the R. The R were honest in wanting to make women second-class citizens. They made a plan, stuck to it, and won. What have the D's done? Other than get outplayed every step of the way, not much. This is insanity. The Democrats have rolled the roost since Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got mad after Reconstruction, and their party they've always been an authoritarian party. That's why they supported slavery back in the day. But they did believe in states' rights and that kind of thing. And the people did. And that's probably why the parties switched. It's probably why the South went red, because that never went away, the states' rights issue. Remember, it was just a few southern states that basically forced the slavery issue out of the Declaration of Independence. So it was a contentious issue for a long time that led up to the Civil War. Now, if Abraham Lincoln wasn't a tyrant, right, then there wouldn't have been a Civil War, and it just would have played out differently. In any case, it was the Republicans then that were fighting for the freedom of people, supposedly, as the narrative goes. But they were trying to end slavery. Imagine being so stupid you're proud of becoming a second-class citizen. And this lady said, not to brag about this again, but my state is the one that just may be taking down Roe v. Wade as we speak. So
it's so the outrage is so stupid, because it's like, it's so easy to not get pregnant. Like these women act like it, like pregnancy. You just wake up one day pregnant, like no event took place. You just check in the mail one day and you got a fucking bun in the oven. Like, that's not.
I the only time I've ever gotten somebody pregnant is when they weren't on birth control. And I don't want to be like braggy, but I've had a lot of unprotected sex with a lot of women. and they all were on birth control. So I have 2 children.
Yeah.
I mean, and because the women I was having unprotected sex with weren't on birth control at the time.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. You know,
Yeah, that's what's so frustrating to me, and the reason why I think it's so fake is because it's like, oh, they're forcing us to be pregnant. Like, no, bro, you don't have to. There's a million ways not to get pregnant. No one's going to come and artificially inseminate you.
well, I mean, you always hear those stories. Sometimes, oh, my birth control didn't work. This and this and that. A lot of that's other factors with you, probably, but yeah.
And there's condoms, and there's Plan B.
Yeah.
And there's not
Yeah.
fucking. You know, like there's
Yeah.
there's a million and one things you could do.
Well, that was the Margaret Sanger switch, though, Tank. She started calling it birth control. See, we switched birth control or contraception to something else because we had the chemical means to do so eventually. But before, abortion was just called birth control.
Mm.
And Sanger was a Malthusian, and she also thought that black people were stupid. And of course, she thought, you know, all kinds of other poor people, like Irish people or whatever, stupid too. She wanted to make sure that stupid people didn't continue to breed. So, and she's not the only one. I mean, you have all kinds of the old socialists from the past saying that. And of course, Sanger is the founder of Planned Parenthood. So, yeah. In any case, my whole reaction to this tweet is just like, hey, this lady isn't proud of becoming a second-class citizen because Roe v. Wade didn't do that. All it did was the overturning of it doesn't do that. All it does is turn the power over to the people in the states. And it's really 10th Amendment, it's the states, but you know, we gotta start getting doctrine and law if in any way we're going to continue to win. We got to make pushes to get the 9th Amendment something established in law that the people have rights, because the states have constitutions too, folks. And we have a lot of rights that are just constantly ignored. Basically, the government, if it's not in their constitutions, they can't do things to us. They can't make them illegal. They have no purview. I know that's an extremist stance, but that's actually what the law says. That is what the Constitution says. So, anyways, here we have, if the highest court in the land was hijacked and is now a religious entity, how are we not a theocracy?
Because we ain't burning witches.
Well, what does this have to do with anything? No, it goes on. Just wait. The majority of the justices are conservatives practicing Catholics. Despite their denials, the Catholic Church dogma will frame their decisions. I'm pretty sure the current Antichrist Pope is all about killing babies. So
I'm gonna say, yeah, that the Catholics are some of the most shit-libbed, cucked religious groups in the nation.
Right. Well, the thing is these people are 100% misinformed and wrong. They're you know, it's all the smugness. It's like the one above, like this girl, she's just being smug, and it's like, yeah, you're just dumb. You're dumb. Sorry, you're dumb. Anyway, she says 100%. And just to prove how impervious they are to public sentiment, I think their decision will look a lot like what we've seen. Okay. This isn't about theocracy, dummy. This is about the law and returning the law to its rightful owners, the states, because this isn't a federal issue. You know, only authoritarians want this to be a federal issue. It's called federalism. It's a whole like theory of government. You should learn about it. It's what we're based on, not democracy, mind you. And even in a democracy, if we were straight democratic here in the States, I'm more than certain that we do not have the majority wanting just anytime, anywhere access to abortion. Most people are not good beyond the first trimester. And many people aren't good beyond, a heartbeat or anything like that. So how about we stand against having two justices on the SCOTUS who have accusations of rape and sexual harassment deciding the fate of a woman's body until they both have their charges fully investigated and cleared. These two men shouldn't be on the bench. It's like, are you serious? You think these things weren't investigated and cleared?
I don't, man. Twitter's been a shit show last couple days. It's just been rough.
Great. It's been great. I was gonna get Musk stuff in here some more. The whole like AOC thing, but all that everyone sees. It's kind of played out. So, I just grabbed some tweets. I just kind of found one guy reposting a few things, and I was like, okay. So this is a good place to sit for a minute. Grab some screenshots. The GOP just grabbed us all by the pussy. You're damn right they did. You can be damn sure they are coming for your marriage license next. Yeah, sure. Whatever, crazy. Like you're nuts if you believe that. See, this is the thing. I'm the conspiracy theorist who ends up being right all the time. But these people who know nothing, they're the ones who are, of course, the arbiters of truth. We'll get to the arbiters of truth here by the end of the show, actually. We'll get to that. I am terrified they will go after Loving. My husband and I already started discussing it. So this is Tartard land. This is like... This is a programmed person. Like they don't know how to think. They've been told all these things. They think the world is absolutely racist. So Loving is interracial marriage, from what I understand, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Loving was mentioned in the draft. I'm told this is like a declaration of war by the Confederate States on the Union.
Let me check my sources real quick. I might have a free troll for you. Amy Coney Barrett's from Louisiana. Where is Kavanaugh from?
I don't know, dude.
Virginia?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Anyway, the joke is, if it were, I guess it doesn't matter if it's true or not. Your free troll for Twitter would be like, if you'd let the South succeed, you wouldn't have these justices on the Supreme Court right now, and you'd have your abortion. But you just had to wage a war of northern aggression.
Look at that. OSIS coming in with the bombs. I went to Catholic school. They all loved abortion, mostly commies. Yeah. I know. People have this idea that Catholicism is like whatever other denominations of Christianity there are out there. As far as the Catholic Church goes, most are very different.
It's the trad cats are so funny because they're like, want to be all traditionalist and based and stuff, but I'm like, you're Catholic. You belong to like one of the most cucked and organizations.
Not just that, but like the commie stuff. They actually have supported that forever. And it's like, that's not no. Commie stuff like redistributing wealth, that's not the church's job. Providing for people who cannot provide for themselves, yes. But the purpose of that too is also primarily directed toward Christians, or at least initially directed toward other Christians. And then when your house is, in order, you can go to the outside world. The Catholic Church's house is not in order.
No.
So anyways, so there's that nonsense. Oh, wait, there's a little bit more. Hold on. That's right. I zoomed in. It's a sad day in the history of this country. I can't even focus on my work. I am toxic to be around right now. I'm so glad no one is home until 5. That's insane. This reminds me of the Donald Trump victory, actually. I've had similar conversations.
Yeah. This is a pretty serious meltdown. And like I said, it's like you're melting down over something that's so easily avoidable. Like I might not be able to get an abortion. Well, you might not ever be in a situation. You could definitely be in a situation you don't have to get one, period. So
I like that you're calm and rational about it, Tank, but no, this is an entitled whatever individual human being who is completely devoid of morality because they would murder a baby, and they've justified to themselves that it's not a baby. But then again, I don't know if this person has ever had children, and that's the other part of this, because I can tell you, most women that carry babies, they might support, pro-choice. They say that when they're on the left, but they will tell you they would never, ever do it themselves. And, there was a time I was put in a situation. So I said earlier that I've only had 2 babies, but I did have a girl that was trying to trap me. Was actually pregnant with somebody else's kid. And tried to basically put me in a situation, and I was living a degenerate lifestyle, and I was in a really bad place. I didn't know what to think. And she asked me, and I said, I don't know what to do right now. I was like, go for it. But I mean, I was not having any relationship with God at the time. I was, sleeping with multiple women. I was a bad dude. But I'm not that anymore. And this is murdering babies. And I'm glad that she didn't do that. She got upset and whatever, and I understood, and and I was a bad dude for even suggesting it. But that's the thing, is I can look at myself in the mirror and I know that. I know I've been horrible. These people don't understand that. They don't understand they're evil in any way. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm ready to take away their gun rights. That's constitutionally protected. Abortion rights are not. Time to amend the Constitution. Oh, wait! You want amendments now? Holy cow! Is this all we had to do to get the left on passing actual amendments? Jeez.
The GOP hates women, and it's sentencing an entire generation to death. Hashtag Roe v. Wade.
no, it's not. You could just not get pregnant.
What? Who are they sentencing to death? Abortion is killing something. And this dude is totally serious. Abortion is actually stopping a life, a unique soul, a unique individual in the universe. Never, ever will occur again. Might even be 2 or 3, actually. It happens. And those unique individuals, because even twins are different from each other, even if they're identical, they're not exactly the same. That's destroyed. My God's a God of life. These people worship a God of death. And I don't know how who's going to die. Are you talking about in order to save the mother's life or something? Because that's not real. Sorry. It's not like there might be a thing where, an operation happens and you lose a baby, but that's not an abortion either, right? You want to hear some insanity, Tank? If you're using an online period tracker or tracking your cycles through your phone, get off it and delete your data now.
Of all the shit that people put on their cell phones, you're worried about that.
Oh yeah, she is. Because she is, because as we zoomify here, let me make something very clear to everyone in their retweets wondering why. Peter Thiel has already sold tracking the locations of marginalized people to the government. Oh my God. He sold tracking information to the government. If you think that your data shows when you last menstruated isn't of interest to those who are about to outlaw abortion, whew, do you have a wake-up call for you? Combine that with location tracking information and when you last menstruated and where you are seeking healthcare and you have a target on your back. And by the way, if you have used Flow, Zuckerberg and company already have your cycle tracked. So me, who's right and actually has evidence for everything that I state, and can tell you there's a slippery slope objection that isn't a slippery slope because you can see the moral implications unfolding over time. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm.
This lady thinks Roe v. Wade is being overturned is going to lead to people tracking her period so that they can ensure she doesn't get an abortion.
Right. These people have like main character syndrome that's real bad.
Yeah. Woo. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it together, guys. All right. Okay. Calm yourself.
They've got your cycle tracked.
Everyone should be deeply concerned that Pelosi is supporting a pro-life Democrat in Texas, recently raided by the FBI instead of his pro-choice progressive challenger. They're getting paranoid on their own team. So Joe Manchin doesn't think that the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade or voting rights are reason enough to get rid of the filibuster.
Oh, no.
They pay him big buck to be that way. Manchin is the only pro-life Democrat. Whoa, what are you talking about? Nancy Pelosi just endorsed one.
Yeah.
That's strange. Glad this guy, he's up on it. Knows exactly everything that's going on all the time. If Democrats actually did anything they run on, no Republican would ever win an election. Even hardcore Republican voters in red states would benefit. The only people who would have a problem are the wealthy. No. Nope. The thing is nobody likes the things that they've been running on lately. And the only reason why most people vote for them is because they give you stuff, supposedly, but they don't. They just promise to. Right. But yeah, maybe they would win, sort of, at first, but then you would just be making the same things, and you're still going to vote for Democrats.
Yeah.
Then say, true, but those who would benefit vote against their own interest over and over. You wouldn't benefit. You would take all the funds and distribute them to yourself, and everyone else would do that too, and then everyone would be equally poor. Is what would happen. And mind you, the voters in California who always want certain housing bills and affordable housing, this and that, yada, 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 politicians pushing that, the voters vote no for those things because they don't want ghettos and stuff in their nice living areas because they are wealthy.
Mm.
You know, talked about this before over in All Minus One. I actually, I believe, had Aiden Paladin on when I showed her a video. She was surprised. New York Times covered it. Actually, I was surprised too. In any case, here's this. We're about to hear some stories, folks. Now, you judge for yourself if this is true or not. I'm sorry if this happened to you, lady, but I don't believe you. I just don't. I'm sorry. So he says, yeah, so I was raped at 13 before Roe v. Wade. The father of the baby was my father. I was sent away to a home for unwed mothers. I named him James. 1970. Destroyed my life. He was sold because white babies fetch more money. Hashtag Roe v. Wade. My father told Doc I was a slut. Here I am. Maybe your dad sent you away. Maybe no one believed you. In the 1970s, I kind of believe that would be possible. But I feel like that was not a thing. And regardless, you're still going to be able to get abortions if you want to murder a baby. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think that the baby should suffer for your father's sin. And you shouldn't become a sinner for that. You shouldn't commit murder for that. Two wrongs don't make a right. Pretty sure that's a thing, right?
That is a thing.
In any case, that's horrible, but no one on the right would advocate for anything like that. That's the thing. And would want to see him imprisoned, and you wouldn't be treated like that today. I just don't believe it. Not to mention, we have genetic testing. We would find out. In 2013, I got pregnant with triplets, but we had no idea that one was growing in my fallopian tube. One night it burst open and I lost over half of the blood in my body and was very close to death. I needed emergency surgery and DNC. If not for Roe v. Wade, I'd be dead. So that's a case where apparently you might needed to abort those babies to save you in that moment because, you know, they weren't going to be viable. That whole thing, that's not most cases. That's not really what's going on here. People are just choosing to not have the inconvenience of having a child when, as Tank said, it's so easy not to get pregnant.
Yeah, and overturning Roe v. Wade wouldn't have anything to do with that. Like
Exactly.
Well, one, she didn't even know what's happening regardless, so Roe v. Wade doesn't even factor into it. You know what I mean? So like she needed emergency surgery. Like no one who wants to overturn an abortion is trying to get rid of saying like, oh, mothers need to die in childbirth.
Here's the other thing. If that happened, I'm having a hard time understanding. I'm sure, you know, I'd have to look up the medical history on this, but I'd have a hard time understanding how one develops in your fallopian tube for a certain amount of time. Like this would have to be very early on, because those babies have to attach in the uterine wall. That fertilized.
Yeah, she's almost certainly lying. This is what they do.
And you don't think you would have grieved that? Like you would have been happy that you were having twins, and then found out that you would have had a triplet, but it didn't descend down the fallopian tube. Which I don't even know how that even works. Like, how does it not? Your eggs up there, and the sperm got to it. Doesn't sound right to me biologically, right?
There are weird kind of things that happens where something endoscopic. There's a term for it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just saying.
It's pretty rare, and I've never seen
rare. And again, this is not banning abortions. You didn't go to a doctor and say, let's schedule an abortion. You had an emergency procedure. Those are not the same. You have created a non sequitur. That's some fancy talk. My mother was a registered nurse in the years before Roe and tells stories of women and girls being eviscerated, sterilized, and killed by back alley abortions. But overturning Roe, SCOTUS isn't saving a single baby. It's killing countless women and girls. What? You mean their choice to go in and do the back alley thing? That's not how this works. It's not how it works. If they die doing something sinful, then they committed a sin unto death, as John the Apostle said. That's what that means. It's pretty simple. This is absurd, and where's this going to happen at? Like, it's not illegal. It's a states' rights issue. Please stop having white children. That was 11/19/21. Perhaps the hardest truth of all to accept must be that no one wants to F your disgusting little white kids. That was from April 7th, 2022. Friends, the entire anti-abortion movement is about white supremacy. More white women have abortions than any other group, and they need those babies to grow up and be trained to be racist voters, or they're gone. This is not correct. Let's look at those numbers real quick. Reported legal abortions by race of women who obtained abortion by the state of occurrence. Time frame 2019. Well, this isn't a complete or extensive list, but this is the table that is listed there. If you guys want to look that up. And you can see that, sometimes it is white people. But they're, sometimes it favors other people. And then we have these perceiving and addressing the pervasive radical disparity in abortion. Black women have been experiencing induced abortions at a rate nearly 4 times that of white women for at least 3 decades, and likely much longer. The impact in years of potential life loss, given abortion's high incident and radically skewed distribution, indicates that it is the most demographically consequential occurrence for the minority population. In other words, genocide.
Well,
Like
people have made that
Margaret
argument before.
Huh?
People have made that argument.
It's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
That was Sanger's whole purpose. It really was. Here we have, in the United States, the abortion rate. Sorry, guys, I highlighted this on my phone, and the thing's got in the way of some of the words. But the abortion rate for Black women is almost 5 times that for white women. Anti-abortion activists, including some African pastors, have been waging a campaign around this fact, falsely asserting that the disparity is the result of aggressive marketing by abortion providers in minority communities. Oh, just falsely asserting that. It's not like that isn't a thing. Hey, have you heard about Black women's rights?
No, what's that?
It's some Marxist thing. You should look it up. Here we have racial and ethnic women's health issues, mind you. Volume 32, issue 1, February 2022. Racial and ethnic abortion disparities following Georgia's 22-week gestational age limit. Abstract. Once they introduced this bill for the 22 weeks from the last menstrual period has been associated with a significant decrease in abortions after 22 weeks. Nuh-uh, really? However, the policy's effects by race or ethnicity remain unexplored. We investigate whether the change in abortion numbers and ratios per 100,000 live births in Georgia after this, thing occurred. So, what do we have here? Well, we have, although abortion at 22 weeks or more decreased for all groups, abortion at less than 22 weeks increased among Black people. They're not marketing to Black folk. So here's some statistics. 1 in 4 women have had an abortion. Only 1.5% of abortions are due to rape and incest. In 2015, approximately 35% of all pregnancies in New York City ended in abortion. 35% murdered because they were an inconvenience. For African American women in New York City, more abortions happen than babies born. Abortion facts: as of 2019, New York abortion law now allows for abortions all the way to full term. There are nearly 100,000 abortions per year on average. That's just what's reported, right? We know we have guys like Gosnell that did all kinds of horrendous things. Planned Parenthood is the nation's largest abortion provider. Again, Margaret Sanger's institution. A child's heartbeat at 21 days. It is audible at 8 to 10 weeks gestation. Here are your numbers. With the pregnancy resulted from incestuous relationships, where the woman's life was in danger, where she was raped, her physical health was threatened by the pregnancy. These aren't even, in the 1 percentile. I like the 666 percentile there. Serious fetal abnormality.
Yeah, they're pretty generous by splitting up aborted for social or economic reasons.
Meaning they were, I guess, really
yeah.
poor. It would have been actually a real burden. But again, there's help for that. There are people. Most people aren't willing to go, or we're too disassociated. We're too atomized to know that we have community.
So you're looking at 98.5% of abortions take place just because mom didn't want it, or actually probably because dad didn't want it. There's a lot of that goes around too.
I'm sure there are guys that force women to get them. Yeah, for sure. Or they don't necessarily force them, but because they don't do it, especially young women, they feel obligated to, or something, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just murdering a baby. The leftist clerk who leaked the Roe memo is a political activist. This is designed to sow discord for summer 2020, plus throw the midterms for the Dems. This is an act of war. I don't think it's going to help the Dems, other than it will be their rally cry. But this stuff has just been so ridiculous and gross, and they're lying. They can't keep lying. We have the internet. I know that all the boomers don't know anything because all they do is watch the CNNs and the MSNs and all that, but younger people don't. And hell, I'm in my 40s and I'm hip, yo. I can hang with the cool kids.
What's up, fellow kids?
Yeah.
I'm really interested in the latest rap music album.
Right. Stop calling it a leak. It was an orchestrated plan, timed precisely to sabotage the ruling and the midterm elections. It can't really, I don't think it can sabotage the ruling, though. I can't think. Excuse me. I don't think that it's possible. Could be wrong, though. Could be wrong on this one. I think they have to, dig in now and actually make their opinions more firm. But I do think that I'm going to. I know what it was. I know what I saw. It was the documents. It was the documents of the Supreme Court wrote about abortion laws in states. It was the opinion. So I do plan on talking about that on All Minus One. I just don't know when. Hopefully Friday. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see. Sunday for sure. Sunday because I have no work, so I will have a stream together for Sunday over there. The only thing that could get swing voters to cast their ballots and 2 to 3 mail-in for the Democrat in November is this, and that's exactly why it was leaked. Ukraine wasn't a big enough distraction, so they had to go for abortion. Typical. Well, it's good to hear Tommy Lahren getting conspiratorial. Maybe she always was. I don't know. I haven't seen her around in a while. And right on cue, Biden will give remarks about Roe v. Wade from the White House tomorrow, completely transparent and completely transparent and devastating political leak. So, and I already showed you his comments earlier about MAGA. I mean, what do you expect? But this is also the guy that, well, he supported overturning it back in 1981. So there's that. And he's also a guy that promoted safe, legal, and rare, which was it was a slogan of the Clintons, really. So keep that in mind. That's where the Democrats were. And again, I was coming into, maturity. It was in puberty and all that stuff and adolescence in the 90s. I remember all this quite well. And yeah, they're trying to say that the right has gone far right. But that does happen when you introduce a mistress of truth. I don't know if you all have heard about the news.
Oh,
but yeah. The Biden administration has formed a disinformation board within the Department of Homeland Security. It looks like you've had a bit too much to think, Tank. Bit too much to think. You better get your stuff right. Yep.
It's a serious jawline.
The Ministry of Truth wants to report you for disinformation. But, I mean, this lady is kind of sus. There's some stuff with her. First off, why does she look like Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah. Yeah. Does look like old Quentin.
It's pretty sus, dude. I don't know. I don't know if she's real or not. And then why does she do all this music stuff? Which, okay, cool. It's a hobby of hers, but like some of it's political. And why does she do all this stuff? I mean, look at this, dude. It seems like she supports a certain position.
Hell yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you listen to her music. It's bad. Not so much bad. She's actually pretty good at it. It's just an annoying style, I think. Anyways, the different information governance board. When I tweet, P is stored in the balls. And here we have the leader of the Ministry of Truth. I call her the Mistress of Truth. That's what she is, the Mistress of Truth. Has this on her bookshelf, Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov, a 1955 novel about a French middle-aged literature professor who is obsessed with an American 12-year-old girl whom he sexually molests after he becomes her stepfather. It's funny how that always works out, isn't it?
Oh my God, yeah.
Parasites, thieves, psychopaths, war criminals, pedophiles, government.
Oh, the finest we have to offer.
Yeah. And Tank, what if I told you that you are the carbon they want to reduce?
I'd probably believe you, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put on your glasses and see what's coming. You got to know what is up.
Mm.
But I did solve climate change, dude. I figured it out, and I'm going to give it away free to everybody. Here you go. You fixed it.
You got it. Problem solved.
But no, the guy you kept calling a conspiracy theorist last year, every time the news comes on this year, I mean, come on, give me some credit, people. I'm the only one calling myself a conspiracy theorist, but it's head them off of the past kind of thing, right? Governments don't want a population capable of critical thinking. They want obedient workers, people just smart enough to run the machines and just dumb enough to passively accept their situation. Does that not sound like everyone that ingests mainstream media on the daily?
Yeah. Why would you put that poison in your body?
Yeah. And I'm not against the sports balls because you can, escapism's okay with me on occasion. I'd rather, go out to nature or, I don't know, train like martial arts or something that's actually useful. But yeah, like think about what your distractions are because there's a lot of them. And it's like 1% against 99%, but 98% don't care.
Don't care. Well, there is something to be said about riding the tiger here. But we've had some white pills. Musk taking over Twitter is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Everyone's warning about Elon, and I was going to have some memes, and I'm not like trusting fully in Elon. It's just like, I believe though that he will make Twitter a free speech platform as long as it's within the bounds of the law.
Well, even if he does nothing, the meltdown's been enough entertainment that I'm happy.
That's true.
Yeah,
hey, this is the business we're in, Tank. I mean, meltdowns are good for this show, I think. I'm a little concerned about the viewership right now live tonight compared to regular numbers, but hey, that's okay. We'll catch them on the replays, I guess.
Yeah, it happens.
Everyone's probably on Twitter, like trolling everybody. That's probably what's going on,
as they should be. Really, really. That's better use of their time in this situation.
They're like, screw Tank and Bill. We don't need to watch them.
We could be shit posting right now.
Way better trolling people on Twitter. Yeah, but this is part of it, though. This is why there are so few people who want to get involved. It's because once you go down the rabbit hole, there's no going back. Prepare to leave the world you thought you knew. And it's for real. Because the enemy doesn't have to defeat you. All they have to do is distract you. And that's all they've been doing. Many of you have woken up to that. People continue to. That's one of the beautiful things of the interwebs. And it's not misinformation. We know we're right. We know we're correct, not because we assert it, but because we do have the truth and the facts. We can show you where these people lied. We can show you where they're manipulative. We can show you their tactics. We can show you the writings of their thought leaders. We can talk about all the repressive tolerance and the grooming that they do because they don't think that children have innocence. That's part of the patriarchy of the cis-normative white heterosexual males. And, the fact that they can't diddle kids and all that stuff, that's you oppressing the children. And their horrible desires. It really will be like the days of Noah and Sodom and Gomorrah, I suppose, Tank. It really will be.
Ooh.
The best way to keep a prisoner from escaping is to make sure he never knows he's in a prison.
Fyodor Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky. He's the most Skievsky of all the Skievskys.
Yeah.
With that copyright strike. Yeah. Let's avoid the copyright strike. Avoid that copyright strike we're gonna do.
That's it.
Like every week. Damn memes. Can I run a simple meme show on YouTube? No, I can't.
Can an American man not run a meme show on the YouTubes without getting a copyright strike?
Liberals claim to want to give a hearing to other views, but then are shocked and offended to discover that there are other views. It's from William F. Buckley. That's the last time the Republicans were useful, or at least he was, but not useful enough. People weren't buying his shtick. They never do. They like the authority. They like the power. They like to be subjugated. They want to be governed harder. Govern me harder, Daddy. When a statist says that without the government, we'd have to take care of the people ourselves. Joke's on you. I'm into that. I actually think that that's what makes you moral. And you relying on the government makes you immoral. Makes you a bad person. If you have a garden and a library, you have everything you need. So
Yeah.
Cicero. That's what you need, folks. You need to get away from all this.
And by garden, I mean meth lab.
Of course. But, Tank's that kind of Southern, so. Conan, what is best in life? To crush the Matrix, to see the satanic pedals driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of the lizard people. That is good. It's like one of my favorite
that movie in a
movies,
long
by the way,
time.
of all time.
Yeah, I need to
that-
watch it again.
It's that, The Prestige, and Fight Club. They're probably my favorite movies.
My favorite movies: Ghostbusters 1, Ghostbusters 2, Gremlins 2, Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks. You were channeling your inner what's his name? Danny. What's his name? Oh, damn it. The comedian guy. I don't know.
I don't know any comedians. No,
I
actually,
don't know. I can't think of his name.
My favorite movie
He's
of all
Pound
time.
and Down guy. That guy.
Oh yeah, Danny McBride.
Danny Bride. Yeah.
Yeah, I like. Actually, my favorite movie is probably Snatch.
I am a fan of Snatch as well.
Oh shit! I did go see The Northman though over the weekend. It was
Oh, did you?
absolutely awesome.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, so it's up, but I liked Dune, and a lot of
I have a
people didn't
baby,
like the
so
new-
I don't get to go see movies.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people didn't like the new Dune, and I did like the new Dune. So take my
The new Dune was great.
I liked it, but a lot of people hated it. But yeah,
No,
The
it was
Northman
great.
was fire.
it's kind of slow. The new Batman's great. It's I can see where they could speed it up, but it's really good. So
I just never liked Batman as a character, so it's hard for me to
Yeah.
get into it.
well, Tank, if if you gotta go, you can go. But I literally am on the very, very last meme.
Okay, we'll do the last meme. I can
Last
stick
meme.
around for
Well,
that.
it is 8:29 by my rendering right now. So
Yes, yeah.
and
I
now
got time
it's
for
8:30 by well, no, wait, we started a few seconds early, so maybe the stream time isn't matching up. Maybe. Oh no, it's 8:30 now. Never mind.
okay.
Last meme. Last call for alcohol. Tank's got to go. All right, guys. Here we go.
So grotesque, it was so bizarre. On my side of the bed, this piece of art. And I knew in my mind and in my heart it was her fecal matter. And she tried to blame it on the dogs. They weigh 4 pounds, they're teacup Yorkies. I picked up their ramen. It was not the dogs, because it was human fecal matter.
Oh, God.
She dropped a grumpy onto the bed. She was throwing shots at your face, at your head. So I grabbed her by the shoulders, and then I said, no more fecal matter. No. She never cared for things I say. She never cared for roles I play. I'm out and gone.
Oh man, that's fucked up.
That's the Memecast news, folks. I'm not sure if we'll get a copyright for that one or not, because it's.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right,
It's worth it though. Totally worth it.
it was worth it. That was good.
Well, Tank, you're here. You want to close out the show? Like, we'll close out the show proper. I can send it to you. You got it up.
Okay.
You got your thing up.
I'm
you wanna
ready to go.
Do your job. Okay.
I will
Okay,
do
guys.
it.
Well,
This
that
one
was
time.
it. Told you guys it was going to be a slick show tonight. I hope you had fun. I know we talked seriously too, but like to do a little bit of both. We like to mix it up here. Can't all be fun and games on the ends just by the memes. But hey, guys, we will be here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, as we are, or try to be at least, every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. This has been the Ends Justify the Memes, and remember, the ends always justify those memes. Play the outro, Tank.